Hello everybody, and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Welcome, Amiibo! We have another letter that I can't hold. This was Essence of Kurlos. I can go. From Pudge! The crossword puzzle, it's a 9-letter word. Okay, we've had that letter many times. It's one of those things of playing this game for quite a long amount of time really shows you just how few letters there actually are. Like, it feels like a lot of different letters when you first start. Then you play for a while. Hello, Wes. Seem chipper as always. How can I help you? Let's talk. You're a bit of a hometown hero. The topic of a lot of conversations. Ooh, I'm a hometown hero now. That's pretty neat. I don't really know much what to talk about today. Other than, like, I was just watching a video that... It's one of those things of, now that it's been said, I can't help but think it as well. So I believe I made mention of... Oh, Velma's in here. I'm going to talk with her first. The leaves are falling and the weather's getting colder, but this coffee still warms my soul. The weather's getting nice, I think you mean. I think I mentioned a while ago, like a few days ago, of, the new hybrid battle cruiser added to World of Warships called Hildebrand. And how basically every community contributor is losing their mind, and people are losing their mind, and it's the most overpowered thing ever. It's also the most expensive premium to ever be added to the game. Now, I'm not saying there's a connection there. But man, wouldn't that make a lot of sense, given how kind of mediocre Hildebrand is? That it's literally the most expensive premium to ever have been added to the game. This thing is well over $250 if you were to buy it outright. Albeit buying it outright is probably just utterly stupid. Given how many people seem to be getting it out of their first few boxes. But that's probably by design. Like, Wargaming knows you'll probably get it out of the containers before you know, get through all of them. Which is, you know, what they're probably hoping for. In a way. So that, you know, you buy all the containers, and then you just buy the ship, because you're like, man, I just want this ship. Because, I mean, it's only 1 silver after you've bought all the containers. And then... well, you already own the ship, so now opening those containers will never have the ship in it. So, you know... Wargaming got your money. And... you have a kind of mediocre ship. Like, I don't mind Hildebrand. It feels like my kind of bad. Like, it's not an overpowered ship by any means. But that's what people are gonna think. Also, I want to know, I ended up hurting my knee again. I don't think my knee was actually healed from the last time I hurt it. And then I was like, man, I don't feel like having a shower so I can go for a walk. I'm just gonna do jumping jacks again, because my knee's been feeling kind of fine. Same knee, same pain. It's actually a little worse this time. I think I need to not do jumping jacks. I need to find something else I can do. I'm still really amazed that it's not my right knee that got hurt. It's my left knee. Because my right knee is the one I messed up as a kid. And, like, has never been right. Like, which is a bit ironic, given it's my right knee. But tish. Like, It's got some weird bumpiness to it. It's got some dips where it probably shouldn't have dips along the kneecap. I probably damaged my kneecap when I was like 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that range. I remember how it happened. I don't remember how old I was. I'm pretty sure I hadn't started school at that point, though. Because I remember when I did start school, the scar on my knee was, you know, a cool thing, you know. It was cool that I had it, especially because it was such a big scar. Hello, Carlos. It's time to get out the button, Sapphire. Something up? That's the latest. Yes. Can you take a look at this real quick? Yeah, I gave you a fruit. Do you remember? This is the very first letter I ever got from you. It's my treasure. Aww. Yeah, for those who might be curious, we had gone on a trip to visit my grandparents on my mother's side. And, all of my older siblings had bikes at her place, but I didn't have one because, like, at my grandmother's place. Because, like, I say her because, like, my grandmother lived longer than my grandfather, so, yeah. But, they all had bikes, so they were, like, riding their bikes around. And I didn't, so I was just running after them, being a kid. And they had a really long gravel driveway. Very tightly packed down gravel driveway. You can probably guess where this is going. Young person, not even in school yet, running after people on bicycles, trying to keep up. I tripped and fell. Landed right knee first. I skinned that entire knee. Like, it was quite the bloody ordeal. I still have quite a scar on that knee from doing that. I also, if I end up bending my knee for too long, like, the lower half of my right leg will go numb. Like, if I bend my knee too much, it legitimately cuts off circulation to the rest of my leg. Which, you know, that's fun. That's something you want, right? It's great. Everyone should try it. As you might imagine, that made, like, early school really, really annoying. Because I don't know if this is like this for everyone else, but at least the school I went to, like, they'd have us get up from our desks and go to, like, a corner of the room, basically, and sit on the floor as the teacher would, like, read something. And it's like, that meant sitting down, and we were supposed to sit down, cross our legs. That meant bending my knee too far. I would struggle to stand up. And, like, it was not fun. I don't think any teacher, if they ever noticed, particularly cared, because I was generally a decently active kid, so, like, clearly there was nothing majorly wrong with my knee, but, so we need to spice up my greeting. No more caterpillar. Something just for Carlos. Okay, we need a greeting just for Carlos. He does have that melon. Melon. Your greeting is melon. I don't even know if that's spelt right, but don't care. Melon. So, like, I feel like that was more the case than the teachers didn't care. It's just, it didn't click that there was something wrong with my knee. And, like, quite often, like, we'd go to, like, the store or stuff, like, me and my family, and, like, if we were at the store for, like, more than, like, 2 hours, which was decently often, I would start complaining that my legs are hurting. It was more my knee was hurting. Like, it was becoming hard to continue standing and walking around. So, like, I would want to leave. And, you know, they wouldn't want to. And it's like, well, like literally, I've got a bad knee. Like, while I was working at the supermarket I worked at, I would basically pull out a, like, rubber mat they had and take my shoes off while working because, like, mostly it's weird. Okay, someone who might know better will have to tell me. It seems like my knee gets worse while I'm standing while wearing shoes, but not if I'm in just my sock feet. I don't know if there's anything to that. Because, like, I've had some shoes that aren't so bad. And some that are really bad. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it's to do with shoes. I don't know. I don't think I have a mummy mask. There's a lot of masks. I'll take it. Bam. I still need to see about finding more cat outfit. I must be a full cat. I've decided. I mean, I could go camouflage pants, and then I don't need to worry about pants, because my legs would be invisible. Isn't that right, Lobo? Caterpillar! You here to find some new duds, so you stay fashionable? Need something? Wanna chat? Just trying things on can be a lot of fun. Yeah, I like to play dress up sometimes. Wanna fight about it? Nah. Right there with you, my man. Putting on outfits can be kind of fun. But, like, that was, like, the only way I could make work bearable. Was, especially because I was walking to and from, basically, most nights. And, like, the combined distance of that walk was almost 5 kilometers. Wrong thing. I want the candy. I don't know why I went to the cookie. Probably because I've only bought a few cookies, and I really should be buying more cookies. But we don't have the inventory space for cookies today, so... I stopped buying the fortune cookie back when the breakup happened earlier this year, so back in March. Because it just didn't feel right to me to be buying, like, a silly little fortune cookie while I was going through the lowest point of my life so far. Don't worry, I know full well things can get worse. I know I've gone on that little ramble before, but, like, things can always get worse. That is very much the pessimist in me. I try to be optimistic all the time, but, like, there's only so long I can stay optimistic before, like, the pessimism starts to kick in. Like, there's so many things in life where I'm just like, there is literally no point to this. And I've come to that realization after many years of optimism. Like, I know there's been a fair bit of hope, mostly, like, around where I live, actually, about a thing passing in Canada called Universal Basic Income, which would be amazing if it passed. It would be, like, life-changing for people like me. Because it is what it says on the tin. It is a universal basic income. It is a basic income, so it's not enough for you to live off of. Oh, I already had a bug mask. Okay. There we go. And I will find places to put this stuff, I just want that out of the way. Yeah, let's just clear out a few shirts. That can go. That can go. Yeah, that can go. But, like, UBI has been in the Canadian government's to-do list. It's been on it for, like, 2 to 3 years now. And we'll get to the final stages around this time of year. Everyone will get their hopes up that it'll pass this time. And then our government goes on break for the winter, and everything has to start again next year. Like, it's not gonna pass. I'm going to stay pessimistic about it because I don't want to get my hopes up. I got my hopes up when it was first announced, like, 6 years ago. Like, because that would be life-changing. The initial amount they were talking about was basically if I remember right, it was basically $20,000 a year for everybody. That isn't a lot of money. Like, it is, however, enough money that, you know, give it a couple years, or even just 1 year of saving, and I could go to college. You know, I could go to higher education. I could, you know, I could attempt to do the thing I've always kind of wanted to do, of be a teacher. Like, it's partially one of the things that I was like, you know what? I really want to do this World of Warships series, so I can more or less on the fly ad-lib do some teaching about something. Because that's a game I know a lot about and can give a lot of tips and advice on how to progress well, how to, you know, do, you know, such and such a thing. I can be a teacher. I've had the thought in the back of my head a few times of maybe trying to do some, like, just in general, like, history videos, or, like, you know, just general stuff. Like, teaching videos. I mean, I've got the whiteboard back there. Like, I could do it. I have a whiteboard and everything. Like, I could borrow my my older sister's camera and record stuff with it, and then, you know, I've got a nice tripod to use. I have the things, have it set up, and, like, could basically do, like, a full-on, like, actual class kind of thing. But, like, I'm honestly not sure what I would do. But I'm also not sure how much anyone would really care. Like, which is why I'm just doing things more, you know, more tangential, more things tied to, like, what I'm doing. Like, I'll probably, throughout my World of Warships series, probably sprinkle in some actual history. Like, I believe in episode 6, which will be a few days off, I end up talking about pre-dreadnoughts and what that means. What something, you know, what dreadnought is. And I may as well mention it again here in case you guys don't feel like watching that, but, you know, want to know tidbits about history. Before the battleship HMS Dreadnought was built, steam turbine engines just were not a thing in warships. They were barely a thing elsewhere. But thanks to basically a bunch of people who had never built a boat before building a boat with a steam turbine engine called Turbinia, they basically changed naval development. Because they did what nobody had done before by looking at it and going, well, I don't see why it wouldn't work. And then just doing it. Then on, I forget the year. I'd have to actually look up this stuff to get back to the year of it. But, you know, the year they were showing off Turbinia was during the Spithead Review. Basically, when the Royals went to review the Royal Navy. And the Turbinia went zipping through the fleet at such crazy speeds nothing could catch it. It was reported at one point that one of the Coast Guard who was sent to intercept the Turbinia basically got in its way, and the Turbinia just barreled straight towards them before at the last moment making a sudden turn and just spraying the Coast Guard with water. And apparently they exchanged words, but probably no one could hear what was said. Like, but that ushered forth a new era of naval development. Suddenly, you could make a battleship fast. Fast for the day, at least. Dreadnought was still only about 20 knots in speed, which is, I believe, close to road speeds? Maybe faster? I don't know. I feel like I want to check that now. I know 20 knots isn't anything impressive. Uh, 20 knots is about 40 kilometers an hour. Or what is that? Is that the American one? Or 23 miles per hour. So, not very fast. But that was fast for a battleship. And when HMS Dreadnought was built, its name, literally meaning fear nothing, was like, it really need dread not. It had nothing to fear. Its armor was thicker than everyone else's. Its guns were bigger and more coordinated than everyone else's. It overnight invalidated the entirety of the Royal Navy and made an opening for the Germans to catch up to the British in naval power. There is an argument to be made that the development of the Dreadnought is partially what led to World War I. Like, because without Dreadnought, the Germans would have never been able to catch up to the British. But with Dreadnought, suddenly it's a lot easier to keep up with the Royal Navy's development. Because before that, the British had what they called the two-power system for their navy. Which basically was, they kept the Royal Navy at such a state of power and effectiveness that they were reasonably confident they could defeat the next two largest navies combined. So, for the most part, that was Russia and France. Like, that was where the world was before Dreadnought. After Dreadnought, well, suddenly all a nation has to do is build a Dreadnought for every Dreadnought the British build. And suddenly, the British don't have their two-power system anymore. And that is exactly what the Germans did. They built a battleship for every battleship the British built. To the point where both navies were absurdly big. Which then culminated in the Battle of Jutland. Which basically was the largest, and probably will always be, the largest naval battle to ever take place. Esso, you have my blue grid tea. No reason in particular. Here you go. Alright, I'll take a shirt. I don't really need it, but it's not your style. Feel to regift it. I promise won't be offended. I mean, you're literally right at retail, and... okay, it's dresses that are on double. But still, like, you know. But yeah, from actually pulling it up, Dreadnought had a max speed of 21 knots, or basically 40 kilometers an hour, or 24 miles per hour. Given the speed of ships beforehand, that's fast. That's blazing fast. Like, that outruns most of the smaller ships from before she was built. Hello, Bella. It's so you today, Schmoopy. What's up? Just talking about a lot of stuff. What's up with you? Schmoopy, didn't I hear you saying you really wanted a cabin rug? I really don't, but you want money, so have the money. Take it. Take my money. I really should, like, finish paying off my home loan. I think I can actually do that. I'm just doing a wander around to see if I can find any other, villagers I've yet to talk to today. But, yeah, like, I got off on that complete tangent. That should give you an idea of the kind of, like, passion I have for teaching. Helping people learn stuff. Like, it's never gonna happen. But, passion's there. Okay, repay loan. What we got? Pretty sure... Okay, no, I can't finish repaying it all off, but I can throw just 200,000 to it. Now I have 97,000 left to go. My next 99,000 bells, I can easily get it. So, I could finish paying it off now, but I like my, like, 2 million in the bank. I'm sure Nook loves it there, too. But yeah, like, it would legitimately be life-changing for me if universal basic income were to pass. But just given how long it's been on the drawing table and how long it's been going through things, I've stopped even bothering to keep up with it because I just didn't see the point. Like, it was never getting anywhere. That's what I saw at the time, that's what I still see now. That's my pessimism coming out because, well... Okay, I can be blamed, but I don't feel like I can be blamed after how long it's been to get a bit pessimistic about it. You know. Honestly, like, UBI would be life-changing for basically everybody. And, like, a lot of people's complaints about it were so easily shot down because it's like, well, people won't work because, you know, you're basically paying them effectively what they would make working minimum wage. Now, people would still work. Most people making minimum wage are working more than one job. Like, they're working like 60 hours a week. It would just let them quit a job. You know, they could quit that one job that they're only working 20 hours at. Have a little more time for themselves to, you know, enjoy life. Like, and it's another thing is like, oh, well, people making a lot of money, they don't need more money. It's like, great. They don't get it anyway. UBI only, like, it literally had a threshold of you had to be making, you know, basically it was like, X amount unless you get this much. Y amount or less you get this much. Z amount or less you get this much. Like... You know... This was already worked out. Like... It's like, well, how are we gonna fund it? Well, I don't know. We've got a lot of rich people and a lot of rich businesses. How about we tax them? That would get the funding. Got a lot of overpaid politicians all around the country. How about we, you know, take some of their salaries to fund it? Like, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, all of this has been solved by people a lot smarter than me. Like, and yet people still complain about it. Like, and that's partially why it's taking them so long, is because, like, okay, I don't want to get too far into politics. I was a global politics student, though, so, you know, I did at least have a passing interest in politics. Most of that has gone. But the Canadian government is broken, and there's no easy way to fix it. We have too many big political parties. That's the best way to put it. We don't have majority governments. We basically never have a majority government. I think the last time we had one was before I was even born. And I'm closing in on 30. Like, we have too many big parties. What we need is ranked choice voting, which would solve so many of the problems. It would solve so many problems for every democracy, but nobody wants to do it because it would actually solve problems. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling now. I've been going on for quite a while. I do thank you all very much for listening to me ramble and just dork out about things. And with that, I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo. See you all then. And now in this end card, I would like to ask if you liked this video, if you could hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, if you could subscribe, that would help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.